9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
From New Jersey, the timeless elite one, Stone Cold Courtney Rice.
I have a lot to say. You wretched little bitch!
It is Wednesday! You know what that means. It's Timeless Elite Wednesday. And what better way of doing that? We are kicking off with the face-off between MJF, the CMLL World Champion, against Hangman Adam Page. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to watch, especially after the chaotic finish that we had. It's controversial in a way where even though Mark Briscoe put his feet on the ropes, MJF stole the win. But surprise, surprise, here we are. And I don't know what's going to happen with Forbidden Door, but we shall see what happens, especially with the world title picture, because I know MJF still has issues with Mystico. Because if you saw Ring of Honor last week, he attacked Mystico from behind and wants to end his career. But we shall see on that. So we're just waiting on the World Heavyweight Champion, Hangman Adam Page, or as MJF calls him, Seabiscuit. Don't ask me why, but don't ask me why he's called Seabiscuit. Just don't ask me. But here comes the champion, and I can tell you this is not going to be pretty. This is going to be nasty. It's going to be a war of words, but let's see what the two of them have to say. This is going to be nasty. It's going to be a war of words, but let's see what the two of them have to say. It's not going to be nasty. And let's see what MJF has to say. Of course, he would call the fans smugs.
You managed to lose your world championship at your very first pay-per-view defense.
Oh, Lord.
To be honest, the only reason you're still standing, bud, is because I just don't feel like breaking you right now.
It was only a matter of time. Hangman does have a point. He has to call somebody a dumbass.
If you are not here tonight to do either of those things,
Oh my goodness. Wow.
and if you are not here to do either of those things tonight, you can turn around, look your sorry ass back home, and live the rest of your life knowing that you don't have the stomach to challenge the world champion.
Woof. Let's see what MJ have to say. And looks like he's getting another mic.
Please shut up when I'm talking, you understand me? I don't have the stomach. Hangman, is that right? You want to talk about our character, our moral fighter? Because you're good and I'm bad. Because I'm the devil. Is that right? And the fact of the matter is, I'm not the problem. You are. Hangman above all else. Hangman, the main character. Hangman did nothing wrong. They treat you like you're an infallible god. Like you're perfect. Yeah? Well, screw all of you and screw your god.
Interesting choice of words.
When I was a young man, I learned the hard way when I got the shit kicked out of me for being just a little bit different. That if God is all-knowing and all-powerful, clearly he can't be all good. And neither are you, now, boy. I am going to show the world that you are nothing more than a fraud. You understand me? You're not a god. You know what you are? You're a weak-minded, depressed, alcoholic little boy.
Yes. Choice of words from MJF.
And you know, cowboy, I don't have a problem with being called the devil. I'd rather be looked at as the devil than be paraded around and be a fake, phony, false idol like you. Unlike you, at least I am real. And that forbidden door, it's not enough for me to just get back what is rightfully mine. My AEW World Championship. No. No, see, I have a point to prove. I am going to take each and every one of you, and I'm going to pull off the wolf sheep clothing that he has, and I am going to uncast this spell. Do you understand me? Huh? And live on pay-per-view, I am going to take their god, their cowboy, and I am going to crucify him.
So it looks like they may get a match. Maybe.
Max, I understand the point you're trying to make. I do. I really do. But I don't think that you understand that no one knows my fault more than I do. And as much as these people have tried to look past them, I will not. I will own up to them. I will not make excuses and run from them like you would. You talk about forbidden door as if you already have a match tonight. But you don't. You don't have a match with me at all. But what you do have is a contract. A contract for a shot at it. Any place, any time that you want, Matt.
That
Any time that you want.
That is true. He has a contract.
But you won't take You're shot because you were afraid.
Hangman does have a point.
You want an insurance policy because deep down you know that you don't have what it takes to take this away from you. So if you ever want to hold the championship again, and if you ever want an ounce of their respect, then take your shot.
Hangman said it. Take your shot.
You pride yourself on being an AEW day one guy, so you should know as good as anyone else that all elite wrestling is about going all in. So do it.
No pun intended with all in.
Your shot and prove it to them, prove it to me, and prove it to yourself that you are more than what we have always known you to be, which is an insecure, gutless coward.
Ooh. Insecure, gutless coward. Man. Thanks. Not the first time anybody's called him a coward. What? Did he just say what I think he said? So it looks like these two are going to be at Forbidden Door, but I don't think, I mean, I would think MJF is using his contract. I don't know, but it looks like these two are going to meet at Forbidden Door. And I feel like these guys are going to meet again after this whole thing is over, because I think of Wembley Stadium next year and how are some of the storylines are going to play out for next year. But they're showing highlights from last week between Jon Moxley and Speedball Mike Bailey. And this leads to our match tonight between Kevin Hart and Cincinnati's own Jon Moxley. And we saw Darby Allin abducting that little run Wheeler Yuta and challenging Jon Moxley to a match at Forbidden Door. And looking at the chat, hi, Terry M. Thank you for joining. Aaron Teagle, thank you for joining on this watch along. Shout outs to Boza 1 to 10. MJF will hide behind the CM. Yep. And there's Jon Moxley standing right outside, right behind Marina Shafir. He pretty much said, Darby Allin, whatever you think about it, or whatever you think about at Forbidden Door is not happening. So, I don't know. We shall see. Oh, Aaron Teagle, thank you. I tried to keep up as much as I can with AEW because I know a lot of people don't watch AEW, but tried to do it. Hi, Michael Vasquez. Thank you for joining on Timeless Elite Wednesday. Hello, Willow Sport One. Hello from the UK, Great Britain. We always love wrestling fans over in the UK, and they are super, super passionate. And we're kicking off with our first match of the night in Cincinnati, Ohio, with the hometown boy, Jon Moxley, taking on Kevin Knight. I'm sure Speedball is going to be in his corner, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see Darby Allin. Oh, it has been confirmed. He will execute his world title shot contract at Forbidden Door against Adam Page. So he is using his contract. Yes, definitely. It should be a really good match to them. This is the second time they're meeting this year. The first time they met was AEW Revolution. And this is the second time that they will meet. And I feel like they are going to meet somehow again with this storyline. And they're going to continue it. They're going to continue it somewhere down the line. So we have that, and just waiting on his opponent, Kevin Knight, or as our own councilman calls him, Leon Slater's long-lost brother, as I mentioned, accompanied by Speedball Mike Bailey. Just going through the card here. So we did have the face-to-face. We have John versus Kevin Knight. We have Adam Copeland taking on that weasel Stokely. We have the ladies in action. Mercedes Monet, Thekla, and Skye Blue taking on Alex Windsor, my newest client. Queen Aminata and Willow Nightingale. We also have an all-star 8-man tag match. Kyle Fletcher, the Young Bucks, and Josh Alexander will be taking on Hologram, Ishii, Brody King, and as requested by that creep Don Callis, they have a representative from New Japan. Who's it going to be? I don't know. We're also going to have trios action. The AEW Trios Champions, the Ops, taking on La Facción Incomprenable, consisting of Dralistico, Rouge, and the Beast Mortos. And we're also going to hear from Swerve Strickland ahead of his big match at Forbidden Door next weekend against Kazuchika Okada. But now we kick off with our first match of the night, Kevin Knight, John Moxley one-on-one. Of course, Speedball is in the corner of Kevin Knight. We see Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta in the corner of John Moxley. And as I mentioned, who knows, we probably will see a Darby Allin sighting tonight. Yes, both Max and Athena are cashing in. Thought Max would defend his. I know, and you know it's funny, Moses, that's what I was saying too, because if they're going to be in Toronto, and I probably said this on WWT and on my watch along, if they're going to have Edge and Christian reunite against FTR, that has to be the main event. Because you can't do it without two of Toronto's favorite boys. I mean, that's just ludicrous on that. Yes, Willow Sport. Kevin Knight is really good. I'm very happy to see Kevin Knight get a lot of exposure in AEW. I do see something within the future. I do see him having that potential, not just in tag team division, but also singles action as well. And hopefully we do get to see him in the Continental. Hopefully it's a Continental Classic later this year. John Moxley is one of AEW's best wrestlers. Don't get me wrong. John Moxley, he's been training. He's been doing a little bit of high flying, jiu-jitsu, ground, technical, even ground mat stuff, even when he was wrestling in New Japan. Can't deny John Moxley with his action. I said this on WWT Live. It looks like Brock and John will counter. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because we did see reports on WWE possibly doing a PLE to counter All Out in Toronto. But we'll talk about more about that, and we shall see. But Speedball checking in on his tag team partner, and John Moxley, he's just sitting there cool as a cucumber. Thinking like, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. But let's see what Kevin Knight can do. But like I said, Darby Allin, he's close by. I don't know what's he going to do next, but we shall see. Actually, Terry, I do like Harley Cameron. I've been liking Harley Cameron since she first came on AEW and really started to feel her shine and saying, feel the wrath. And also, we did see a little promo of her. Oh, nice counter by Kevin Knight. That was a nice drop kick by Kevin Knight. He really put that in there. Woo. F you. Well, obviously they're going to chant F you Yuta every week. I mean, what do you expect? Nothing personal against Wheeler Yuta, but that little run has just been annoying. I feel like he's just been running amok everywhere. But as I said, we got a jam-packed show. I'm actually very curious on who's going to be tag team partner from New Japan. Who does Tony Khan and Tanahashi got? And with the fact, too, they also have the G1 tournament happening right now over in Japan. So who are they going to bring? I don't know. I would not be shocked if it was Kota Ibushi being their tag team partner. I think that would be good. but we shall see. Oh, nice move. Oof. John Moxley countered and crash and burn. Oh, Kevin Knight. He took a crash and burn. Maybe that's why it feels like on the. Maybe that's why it feels like on the. Yeah, I was thinking either Ibushi or somebody because the G1 tournament's happening. So it's like, I know Tanahashi's wrestling right now. I know, but like I said, I would not be surprised if it was Ibushi or somebody. But we shall see in the night. But also feel free to put in the channel who you guys got winning this match. Do you got Kevin Knight winning, or do you have Cincinnati's own John Moxley winning? Who do you guys have? Who you guys have in the chat? But I will say Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight, if Darby shows up and plays games. I mean, that would be a huge signature win for Kevin Knight because he's had a lot of banger matches since he's been here. He faced off against Jay White. He faced off against Will Ospreay. He's faced off against some other top stars within AEW. And he's really just putting in there, especially facing off against another top tier person in John Moxley, who's been a multi-time world heavyweight champion. So...
where can everyone find you, honey?
But even though the match is in picture-in-picture, the match is still going live. And I love that if you're watching on picture-in-picture, they're putting the commercial in for Pacemaker, which also stars John Cena. I've heard good things about Pacemaker, and I think that'll be on my radar to watch list on TV. I'm going to do that. And I have HBO Max as well, so it comes out very perfectly because there's a few stuff on a TV. So, Speedball trying to cheer on his tag team partner. trying to be the good supporter. Heard things about Happy Gilmore too. It's on my go-to list, but with Big Brother on that occupies. I know, right? Big Brother's happening right now, but I have a lot of things on my TV list I gotta watch. But we are back live from Cincinnati, Ohio. John Moxley taking on Kevin Knight, and they're showing highlights from what happened before they went on picture-in-picture. So this is actually a good match to kick off the show. I'm going to be honest. I really thought Hangman and MJF was going to close out the show. Now I'm very curious on what is going to close out Dynamite in a way. Because if it's not Hangman and MJF, and if it's not Kevin Knight and John Moxley, I'm very curious on what is going to close tonight's edition of Dynamite. I hear the FU Yuta. Oh my god, I hear the FU Yuta. That is hilarious. Well, they say it to him every week, so what do you expect? And it's crazy because next week, after Ohio, they go to Scotland next week. For the first time, they go to Scotland. And right before that, they head to London. So they'll be back in the UK next week. And I'm very excited to do a watch along next week from Scotland, because that's going to be fun. Oh no, John Moxley! John Moxley bit off Kevin Knight's arm. He took a bite out of his arm. Poor guy. Tuesday night, we return October 7th. Yes, thank you, Boza, for that. Thank you, Boza, for that, because they'll be back home for homecoming in Jacksonville at Daly's Place. And it's going to happen during football season. So I think it looks like I may be doing a special Tuesday night edition of Timeless Elite. Instead of Timeless Elite Wednesday, Timeless Elite Tuesday. Oh, I know what you mean, because they're in Scotland. Well, I am going to put out a warning on WWT. Do not give me any spoilers. I will be putting out a warning because they are in Scotland. So, but if you post spoilers on there, I am going to block you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I will block you. And I'm really happy Kevin Knight kicked out. So yeah, Moxley, but Kevin Knight countered. He gave a slap in the face and the finger to Kevin Knight. And Kevin Knight's not taking no shit from anybody. That's what I love about him. And like I said, I would not be shocked if he was in the Continental Classic later this year. Because I think he would be a really good addition. Him, Mark Briscoe, probably Kyle Fletcher. Oh, and Moxley scratching the back of Kevin Knight. Ooh. Nice superplex by Kevin Knight. Kick out by John. That's the thing I like about Raw on Netflix. Netflix is quarter Raw for the... Yep, that's what I love about it too, because at least it airs. It airs, and we don't have to worry about spoilers. I wish I could say the same thing for HBO Max, but who am I to say? They're showing the replay of Kevin Knight. Ooh, John Moxley. And now he's irate. He is irate. Trying to, but Kevin Knight, what's he gonna do here? Oh, he was this close on beating John Moxley. That would be insane if he pinned a former world heavyweight champion. Spinebuster. Kick out made by John. Look at Marina Shafir. Marina Shafir is looking on, and that little runt Wheeler Yuta. The fans are really getting behind Kevin Knight. I would say he do a lot more. And Marina Shafir trying to handle Speedball. She has not learned her lesson, has she? Ooh, kick to Wheeler Yuta. Actually, that would be funny if Darby Allin does come out. I know he abducted Yuta, but it would be funny if he did something with Marina Shafir. And I'm sure they probably talked about this probably like backstage or something, and they have something planned. But that would be really interesting if he did abduct her. Ooh. Counter by John Moxley. And John Moxley is putting in a submission hold. Ooh, he's fading. So is this over? He's rolling. He's countering. Ooh. Well, your winner by submission, John Moxley. I thought it... Wait, no. Did he tap? No, well, John Moxley trying to let go, but Speedball, he's trying to let go of John Moxley, and here comes that Wheeler Yuta. I'm sure Darby Allin's probably close by. Obviously, I mean, if it was any other state, yes, but I don't think you were going to let the man lose in his hometown. I don't think you were going to let Moxley lose in Cincinnati. That would have been, I mean, it would have been kind of funny, but I don't think so either. Where's my guy Darby? I want to see Darby. Because Darby's somewhere. Maria Shafir kicking Speedball. Oh, and I hear the music. And he has a skateboard. There has to be a plan for Marina. You see how John went from confident. Yeah. Well, there he is. He got a skateboard in his hand. And this is the guy that said he wants to go to space. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing Darby Allin go to space. As long as he passes all the credentials and testing. And he brought out a body bag. He brought out a skateboard. He's all on his own. But Darby's not afraid. That's the thing I love about Darby. He is not afraid. Well, there's Kevin Knight. Ooh! And Marina just realized it. And he's putting that little run in a body bag. Do it. But they could have been more creative with this. I'm just saying. I know Darby is crazy, but and this is the guy that wants to go into space. Well, I can't knock him for that, for him dreaming big. And there's Claudio. We haven't seen Claudio in the last couple weeks. Uppercut made. What I feel like they're going to have a match next week. It's going to be probably Claudio and Darby next week. But he did challenge Moxley. Oh, man. I know he was very lucky. And Darby, he just doesn't want to quit. That's the one thing about him. He does not want to quit. It's a shame Bryan Danielson only appeared one time. And you're going to put Darby in a body bag? You're going to put Darby in a body bag? Now, what are they going to do with Darby? Oh, boy. What's he going to do with Darby? Oh, he's spitting on him, everything else. He's taking it for a ride. Oof. Crash and burn. And what are they going to? I think they're going to do the same thing that they did to him back in December. They employed the chair on many people. Darby Allin, Chuck Taylor, Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay. And look at that. They're trying to do what they did to him back in December. Oh, boy. They're trying to make, as you said, Bosa, they're trying to make sure. But, and here comes Will Ospreay! We didn't even think we would see Will Ospreay for a bit. I did not think I would see Will Ospreay. I thought he would be medically cleared by Forbidden Door. It didn't say before, but it looks like Will Ospreay. I know, that's what I'm saying. They made it look like he was going to be gone. I think he needed a break. I think he did. And I'm sure Will Ospreay wants his hands on the Death Riders too, especially after what happened at All in Texas. But Death Riders are retrieving, and Will Ospreay hasn't forgotten. Oh! Oh, Will's coming for blood. Oh, lights out! Get your friends, and Will Ospreay will get his friends. Forbidden Door. I'm gonna like this. And it's also interesting too because they both wrestled in New Japan, Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley. So John, I'm sure he has some tricks up his sleeves because, as I mentioned, Gabe Kidd is hurt. So yeah, the second one, I just can't believe it. Why not in London? So I'm very curious on who from either New Japan or CMLL. Terry, to be fair, you have to understand that you really don't like Darby Allin, Terry M. And just to be fair, you have to understand, like, Darby Allin did get destroyed by the Death Riders back in December. So you really can't knock him for trying to stalk him and interfering one by one. And also with the fact, too, Jon Moxley even said he wouldn't even be world champion. And they're showing the promo from... I'm looking forward to seeing this, but this little... I just want this little weasel to get his ass kicked by Adam Copeland. But I know there's going to be a lot of shenanigans. Possibly with FTR. So we shall see. Oh, nice. Zach Minero. Happy National Filet Mignon Day. It's crazy. They're showing history of this match. I thought I wouldn't see. I know exactly. And yeah, he did call Beth a micro brawler. Oh, boy. I just want that weasel to get the look. If I can't get a beat down, if I can't get somebody beat up on Don Callis, I might as well get somebody beat up on Stokely. Oh, and they're kicking off with the ladies, which is a shocker. Well, here we go. We got a trios match. Yep, it's a trios match. I did not think we would be starting this early with the trios match, but I'm not complaining. Oh, goody. Time for that. I know. But yeah, here she is. 8 belts, Mone, the reigning TBS champion who will be defending her title next week in a fatal 4-way match. We know my newest client, Alex Windsor, will be in the fatal 4-way match. We're just waiting on the representative from CMLL and Stardom. Well, Terry, I hate to say this, but it looks like you just don't like anybody interfering in Death Rider's business. But sooner or later, they're going to get their sweet desserts, to be honest. So, look. I'm just saying, don't shut up to Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay has every right to interfere in his match. So I'm not going to let you crap on some of the other stars in AEW. I'm just saying. Ospreay and Darby Allin have every right to do it after being the crap beat out of them. Hi, Tommy T. Thank you for joining on Timeless Elite Wednesday with yours truly. I got in trouble with Merrick because I said this is the first. Yeah, well, no, Boza, don't believe his lies. He remembers All in Texas. He just doesn't want to admit that Mercedes had her first loss. I'm just waiting for her to be unhinged because I know for a fact, even though she has 8 belts, she is still salty after that loss at All In Texas. And with the fact, too, you collect all these belts, but you didn't get the one belt that you want. And hypothetically, if Athena gets the AEW women's title, what do you think Mercedes is going to think? With the fact that Athena did something Mercedes couldn't even do, and that was beat Toni Storm for the AEW women's title. I'm just saying. I'm just waiting for her to go unhinged a bit and still be salty, because that is about to happen, because she can't fool me. She cannot fool me. Wasn't sure if CMLL had their match yet. No, I don't think they did yet, but hopefully they do make that announcement, because I know Forbidden Door is fastly approaching next week. But we shall see who they have. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I would be 2 for 2 if that happens. 2 of my clients beating Mercedes one day, I would be like, ah. It's just really interesting. But like I said, sooner or later, she's going to have to go unhinged and really be aggressive, because that's when the self-doubt starts to creep in. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, she got 8 belts. I can't take any of her accomplishments away from her. Can't take anything away from her. But very curious on how this ladies tag team match. But yes, we have the CEO. I will say she does look good in red. And now we have our tag team partner. It's the Toxic Spider Thekla and Skye Blue. And also, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I was at WrestleCon and I had the chance to meet Thekla. And it was her first wrestling convention that she went to the first time in the United States. So it was really awesome for her to come in the Garden State of New Jersey. I had the chance to chat with her and I told her about Women's Wrestling Talk, and it was great. She was really cool. She felt really chill, and she's also looking forward to making an impact in AEW as well, along with after Forbidden Door, they get their residency in Philadelphia. So that is going to be fun. The one thing that she was bummed about not having to do, the one thing about not being in Jersey for that long, she really wanted to go food sighting. That's the one thing that she was bummed about, but she's very excited for Philly. Well, it looks like Mercedes is about the triangle madness. It looks like it, but this is my newest client, Alex Windsor, and I know Mercedes has a look on her face. So, yeah, great convo about Mercedes on MVP's podcast. Well, we shall see. I mean, I don't know who she was trashing, but we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, me too. I think she's going to make a really good impact for a while. As long as, like, they don't, derail her, I think she'll be okay. But we get to see the Queen Aminata. I don't care. I will see Queen Aminata every week if I have to. And it's nice that Professor let us learn a lot more about Queen Aminata. I really do like her. I'm okay with Queen Aminata on my TV every week. I don't mind seeing her every week on my TV. And there's Willow Nightingale. It's just, how can you not dislike Willow Nightingale? Hi, Eddie Foster. Happy Wednesday and welcome to Timeless Seedling Wednesday, because you're there just in time for ladies action. Just me, Mercedes and Willow are no strangers to each other, because they met for the inaugural New Japan Strong Women's Championship. They met last year at Double or Nothing for the TBS title. Yep. Bozo, like I said. Oh, and look who's here! I did not think she was here. Toni Stewart, my client. See, I have 2 of my clients. Tony will be. Well, they will in a non-sexual. They're in a non-sexual relationship, by the way. It's a friendship. I love it. I just love seeing them. Oh, and speaking, we get to see Athena, and along with Billy Starks. Oh, I guess she's without Billy Starks, but yeah. Yes, she did find a co-star, a true co-star in the making, and it's just so fun to watch. Well, yeah, she was outsmarted, and you could tell by the look on Mercedes' face that she wasn't too pleased when Tony came out. So, yeah, I think there is still some saltiness, and she will be unhinged. But here we go. We see Skye Blue with Alex Windsor. I know, Boza, it's crazy. I did not think like their contracts would not be cashed in so soon. And hopefully they learned the lessons that they did when Christian cashed in at Revolution and just really kind of bullshitted on it. So hopefully they learned their lesson the second time around that they don't do it. But Toni Storm rooting on her quote-unquote co-star, Alex Windsor. But Willow taking out a familiar opponent in Skye Blue. I'm surprised Julia Hart's not in this match. And I also feel and look like Willow and Mercedes know each other so well. I think they did learn. Hopefully they did learn from that. But they're showing it the TBS 4-way. We know my client Alex Windsor, Mercedes Mone. We're just waiting on the representatives from CMLL and Stardom. So hopefully we'll find that out next week when they're in Scotland. And Queen Aminata and Mercedes are no strangers to each other because they did meet before for the TBS title. I do love... She's giving her the chocolate kisses. I love it. I love it. I can't do the same way Booker T does, but I'm okay with that. She's doing the CEO. What's going on with that? We've had many people do the CEO dance between her, Tony, Mina. Oh my god, it's so fun to watch. Yep, like I said, we're still waiting for that. But I do like Queen Aminata is getting more TV time because, like I said, some of the ladies are out. Linda Rosa, she's taking a break. Jamie Hayter's had an injury since Double or Nothing. Nina Shirokana broke her hand. Red Velvet is suffering an injury. So I'm happy that Queen Aminata and along with some other ladies are taking advantage of this. Also, Harley Cameron is injured as well. So I'm happy not just Thekla, but Queen Aminata and some of the other ladies are getting a lot of airtime. It makes me happy to see, but I just don't like it crammed up for 6 women tag matches because there is a lot of storylines coming into place. Of course, you have Tony and Athena. That's also coming into place. And if you kind of throw in Alex Windsor, she's kind of like in a feud. Her and Tony are kind of against Athena and possibly Mercedes, along with Billy Starks in a way. And Queen Aminata's had a feud with Thekla for a bit. Throw in Willow as well. I get it because Willow is the top babyface of that women's division. All the fans like her. And she's also dealing with issues with Chris Statlander. So there's many layers to this, but the match is in picture-in-picture, and Thekla's doing what she does best. Like, she is scary, but that's her persona. That's what she does. My client Toni Storm cheering for Alex Windsor on the sideline, and we do see Athena. She did cash in she'll be using her opportunity next weekend. It's going to be, I think when we do poll predictions, it's going to be very tough because this is kind of a lose-lose where neither won. And this is the same thing I did with All in Texas. It's pretty much a lose-lose because neither one could lose, but it will be interesting to see. And for Tony, I wouldn't have a problem with Athena winning the title, but it's going to be interesting too because if she does have both belts, who would she drop the Ring of Honor women's title to? And I would not be surprised if Alex Windsor and Athena went round 3 because after Forbidden Door, they have to do the residency in Philly, and Ring of Honor does Death Before Dishonor. So I would not be shocked if Alex Windsor and Athena would go round 3 because the last 2 times they met, those were some really good matches. I saw the second match at Collision. It was a really good match. Really great way to main event Collision. And we are back live with the ladies in action in 6-women tag match. Queen Aminata, Willow Nightingale, and my client Alex Windsor taking on Thekla, Sky Blue, in the CEO Mercedes Mone. And of course, I have my other client, Toni Storm, and Athena watching on the sideline. I know exactly. That's why I'm a bit concerned because so far we only have one match for Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor. But like I said, I would not be shocked if they did go round 3. But it would be cool in a way. Oh, nice move by Queen Aminata. Yeah, but I do say Mercedes does look good in red. She does look very nice in red. Red is her color. Ooh, nice headbutt. And I know, because last week when we did our show, MDB99 had some interesting words to say about Alex Windsor, saying that she slept her way to the top. But I don't think she did because I learned a lot about her. And yes, in wrestling, it's wins and losses, but also at the same time, it's about the journey and the story of wrestling. Like, okay, like I remember there was a few ladies that started wrestling. They didn't have many losses, but over time, you don't want to push them too soon. So I'm happy they are slowly getting Alex Windsor in the reps. And she was already wrestling before she met Will Ospreay. And also, let's just be very clear. I mean, not everybody can be Mercedes. Not everybody can be Athena. Not everybody can be Toni Storm. I want Alex Windsor to be her own person, especially being well known in the UK. Oh, nice headbutt onto Julia Hart by the Queen, I would say. Yeah, that kind of did shock me. So that's why I had to step in. And she had a very hell of a journey. Like, she tore her ACL. Then when she came back. Exactly. And also, if you know, her first husband that she was with, he was good friends with Will Ospreay, and he was suffering from mental health. Boza, we're just waiting on confirmation for Philly because we probably won't get it till after Forbidden Door. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like building the character and development of talent, because there's just so many. That's why I kind of said WWT, like, I'm happy it's one match for the ladies, but I wish it was more storylines. I mean, I know Toni, she has Athena. I know Toni has Athena, but like I said, Alex Windsor still. Oh, what's he gonna do here? Alex Windsor putting a submission hold on the CEO, but I doubt she's gonna tap out. I doubt it. But it's nice that she put a submission hold on it. She ain't gonna tap out after All in Texas. Are you crazy? Tag is made to Sky Blue. Yes, they are, Boza. The ladies are killing it. I just want to see. Oh, she put a pounce on Mercedes Mone. Willow Nightingale. Nice DDT by Sky Blue. She looks really good. Came back. Headbutt by the Queen. Aminata. Ooh, by Thekla. You got to watch out for that move. That's why she's called the Toxic Spider. And she does spider-like moves. Look at Tony. But I love that she's cheering on the sidelines and she wants to be supportive of the women. And I think that's what Athena is too. Like she's very supportive of the ladies. That's why even though them two are going to meet, I love how they're kind of on the sidelines and let's let the woman cook in the ring. Just let them cook. Oh, nice move. Oh, is she put a submission hold in? Is she going to tap? And that's it. That's it. And the winners of this match, Willow, Nightingale, Queen Aminata, and my client Alex Windsor. I knew for a fact because Willow and Queen Aminata did lose the last few weeks on Collision. Yeah, I know it was Queen Willow and oh my goodness! There's a brawl happening between Toni Storm and Athena. Oh my god. These two are going at it with each other. Oh boy. Well, these two. Oh my goodness. And there's a brawl happening with all these ladies. Well, we know Forbidden Door is happening, but woo! All the ladies, but it looks like Mercedes and Alex Windsor. Because she is the TBS champion. And we still don't know who from CMLL or Stardom. If I were, I would. And Athena, she's handling with Tony. Oh, gosh. And then she threw out Toni Storm. And also with the fact, too, Mina, as I mentioned, Mina broke her hand. So. I told you there is going to be a possibly alliance, but how long is it going to be? Especially with the fact they do have a common enemy with Tony. Ooh, and go Tony! See? That is my lady. See, those are two of my ladies. I love the two of them together. They're just so fun. Windstorm. That should be the name. Windstorm. Oh, and she's going to speak. Shh. Yeah, it's going to happen next week at Scotland. Let's tango! Oh, I love it! I love that they tangoed! I love it! These are two of my ladies! But yeah, next week. This is going to be a fun tag team. And I'm happy Alex is learning from Toni Storm. I love it. That's the best way to do it. I love it. As Windstorm is dancing away, boss. See, that's their name, Windstorm. You get it? I'm gonna put that on WWT next Wednesday. Windstorm is the tag team name, and I thought about the tag team. See, Tony Khan, I need to get paid the check. Make that a shirt. Windstorm. Waltzing. Oh, and here's Will Ospreay. So let's see what Will Ospreay has to say to Renee Paquette.
Occasionally, old mate. And he said, yeah, he's up for it. But guess what? On one side, we got myself, we got Darby Allen, a couple more people that we need to confirm. We're very pleased to announce Diamond Face, ferocious.
And I did say Tanahashi! Tanahashi! So it will be Ospreay, Darby, and Tanahashi. Oh my goodness. You tell your husband. Ah, the ace. I mean, who better to do it than Tanahashi? And here comes Adam Copeland. He's going to finally get his hands on that weasel. He got that hand on that weasel, but I feel like now I'm curious who cheers. I know exactly. Like that creep on Callis said, get your best people from New Japan. So I'm very curious on who is going to step up with Kyle Fletcher. Like, who does Tanahashi have up his sleeve? Oh, trust me. I think Will would not have a problem with that because I would have said Willow would be a first choice because she does have a history with Marina Shafir, but I feel like Will would have something up his sleeve from New Japan or Stardom. But like I said, Willow would be my first choice, but we shall see. I think Will Ospreay has some tricks up his sleeve. But they're reciting his theme song. I know, exactly. It does make you smile when they do his theme song a cappella. And the last time that's happened on AEW, anytime somebody sang his theme song a cappella, was Judas by Chris Jericho. Because anytime Chris Jericho came out with Judas, people would be singing that word for word. And it just sent chills down your spine. So that's one of my favorites. Oh boy, so I'm just excited to see this weasel get what he deserves, but I feel like Big Stoke has no house. Oh boy. Oh, you're cheering for, well, you know what? Terry, you are entitled to cheer for Stokely. But where is he? He's getting put up by security. By Cheesecake. By AEW security. I mean, it's funny. He said security shut him down. It's funny because he had a lot of tough words to say last week on Dynamite and Collision. I know. It is a joke, but I don't care. I'm just happy somebody's beating the crap out of that weasel. I just kind of wish it was Don Callis, but I'll settle for Stokely. Oh boy, let this go in for 5 minutes. Let this go in for 5 minutes. Just let this happen for 5 minutes. Oh boy. He's like, come on. You know, it's funny. Stokely talked a lot of trash last week towards Adam Copeland. And we are at 9 o'clock in the final hour of Dynamite. It's crazy. We're in the final hour of Timeless Elite Wednesday. Where has the time gone? It's just been so fun being here on a Wednesday. And it's only going to get better. I'm enjoying this. I don't care. I really want that Weasel to get what he deserves. I'm enjoying this. Nobody cares about Stoke. No, who's going to save him? FDR can't. Didn't mean to shock Honey when I said she'd agree. Well, Boza, I'm sure she does appreciate that. She does appreciate that as well, because definitely interview with Mark Henry. Also, make sure to check out oh my goodness, Adam Copeland is having so much fun. Oh my god. Any hoes. Oh my god, I'm enjoying every bit of this. I don't care. I don't care. I'm enjoying every single minute of this. Oh my goodness. Stop it, get out of here. Part of me wishes, I know, I wish it was Beth too, but Beth is on the other side, so. Oh, obviously, surprise, surprise, it's FTR, but they can't stand 200 feet. Because if they do, they break the restraining order. That's the rule. Spear. I know I want this match to end, but I'm enjoying this. I'm really. I'm loving this. See, I knew it was only a matter of time. Yep, the restraining order is null and void. They interfered, so he got what he wanted. He's beating up at FDR. And all this is supposed to lead up to All Out in Toronto. Because we did see the poster. And guess who's on the poster? Adam. Oh my god. Yeah, referee, ring the bell. Because it looks like Stokes threw something in the eyes of Adam Copeland. And this match is no contest, disqualified. And FTR. And of course, they use the microphone. Oh, thank you, Boza, for that. It was salt. Whoa, that's not good. Having a 3-on-1? That's very hard to say. It's very hard to say. Not easy being 3-on-1. And I know they're going to face off against Brodino, Brody King and Bandino. Probably next week. They're going to face off against them for the tournament. And who's that? Oh, it's Christian! Christian? I hear Christian's music. But is Christian going to come out? Oh! Christian and Spike! He has Spike. It's just that with Spike. And oh no, there's Nick Wayne. Does he know he has Spike? Yep. Gee, Nick Wayne should know. Oh, please don't be like Moxley. It's Christian. Oh my God, spear to Kip Sabian. It's funny that the two of them have issues. I know, the fans' reaction. Christian has stuff with the patriarchy. Adam Copeland stuff as FTR. It's just only a matter of time. But look at the two of them. Oh, who would have thought Edge and Christian would be reuniting? The fans are chanting, hug it out. Well, the last time we saw them at All in Texas, Adam told Christian to go find himself. And look, Christian has Spike. And look at Christian, he gave him back Spike. Oh my God. If they did it one more, I would be okay with that. I'll be, look at that. They hugged each other. This is just a wonderful moment. Aww. Aww. No, this is just a wholesome moment. What does Courtney think of Adam versus FT? Oh, look at this. It's just a wholesome moment. The tag team we grew up with as teenagers and kids. And look what they are now. It's gonna be very interesting for September 20th. Because this came out of the blue for WWE. It was not planned in advance. It does seem a little bit petty that you did it on All Out, with the fact AEW planned this for months and it was on their calendar. So they planned everything ahead. And also they had to make sure their dates did not also conflict with WWE's PLEs. So that was smart of them to do. At least they didn't conflict it. But I think if it is something they're going to think about, but I do think if it is, like I said, if it's going to be Adam Copeland and Christian, FTR, the main event, they better go, no pun intended, all out on this, if this is going to be the main event. And I'm trying to imagine like some of the matches that would have, you know, them versus FTR, them versus the Young Bucks. I wouldn't mind seeing them versus the Acclaimed, because I know the Acclaimed said Edge and Christian is one of their favorite tag teams. Oh, they're showing the promo of Hook. So it looks like he is coming back soon. I love that they put like not an acknowledgement to Batman. They have the Hook signal. That was so creative. I love that. Terry, I know you're against Edge and Christian reuniting, but this is actually a good, solid moment because you have one of the best and influential tag teams, Edge and Christian, back together again. Now, for granted, it's not on WWE soil. It is on AEW soil. I know, that would be an interesting intergender trios match. But yes, Eddie, Hook is coming back because I saw the Hook signal. I could see Christian Cage challenging Nick Wayne and Death. That could be true. I could see that happening if they don't pick out an opponent for Nick Wayne. If they don't pick out an opponent for Nick Wayne at Ring of Honor, I could see Christian Cage versus Nick Wayne. So that could actually be something too. But yeah, we get to see Hook coming back soon with the Hook signal and everything else. And why not? Why not have Christian Cage and Adam Copeland have one more final run. Why not? Why not? But yeah, and it's hard to believe it's 9:15, and I'm very curious on what's going to close out the show for AEW Dynamite, because I really thought it was going to be either Hangman or MJF or Moxley and Kevin Knight. But let's see. I'm looking at the rest of making the challenge. 4 months after we fans had to tell ACW something that I know exactly. I know exactly. It's crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, so Terry Hook was injured and there was something wrong with him a couple months ago, because I believe the first time he was sick after he got pummeled by the Death Riders, he did get sick for a little bit, but then he also got injured again. And we also had a glimpse of him at Double or Nothing in Anarchy in the Arena, but he wasn't physically cleared yet. But it looks like he is cleared. And curious how they're going to do with the ops as well, because maybe that could be a main event too. Yeah, he literally upchucked. It really is. So we shall see. So we are back with AEW Dynamite live. What's the pyro for? Oh my God. Oh, the Young Bucks. They got their pyro misleaded. Oh, God. Slick Nick, Mr. Instant Replay. I love that they get to have so much fun with this. They get to have so much fun. So, hold on, let me see. We have the 8-man tag team match. We have the Young Bucks, Josh Alexander, and Kyle Fletcher taking on Brody King, Hologram, Ishii, and a representative from New Japan. Oh, God. This is just, I know exactly. It's not too much. I actually like this. I like that they're pyro. And I love that they're used to this, because this is great for them. I just love it. But here comes the new TNT champion, the Aussie Proto style, Kyle Fletcher and Josh Alexander. I'm surprised that creep Don Callis is. Yeah, I was going to address that, Boza. That creep is not here. And actually, I could care less where that creep is. I could really care less. Joining these guys. Oh my goodness. That is hilarious. Well, here comes Brody. Because remember, Brodino still is going to face off against FTR. And the winner of that match will face off against a Hurt Syndicate at Forbidden Door. So I'm guessing that's going to happen probably next week in Scotland. I'm very curious who is their partner from New Japan. Oh, thank you for that, Bose. Yep. I kind of figured it would be next week, the finals in Scotland. So now we have 2 matches confirmed for next week. I'm very curious on who's going to face off against Kyle Fletcher. Who's that? No. Hiromu Takahashi, 5-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. I do like his outfit. It's very colorful. Takahashi. Yeah, Takahashi is. I'm going to call him Takahashi. I'll just call him by his last name, Takahashi. Now I'm very curious on who's. Yeah, that could be Kyle Fletcher's challenger. Because Kyle Fletcher had a look on his face that he was very shocked and seen a ghost. Oh, look, another super kick by the Young Bucks. Justin Roberts is looking like. Were they really going to super kick Justin Roberts? Oh my God, they super kicked Justin Roberts? Jeez, what did they do that for? Yeah, he's going to need some medical help. Tweedledee. Yes, Boza. Our Kitty is the ring announcer for AEW Collision, so hopefully she will be coming out. Our Kitty. Even though the match is still going, picture in picture, the match is still going live. A few minutes ago, if you did not see, the Young Bucks super kicked the ring announcer Justin Roberts, so it looks like he needs medical attention, and possibly, if it's worse as it looks, our Kitty, who handles the ring announcing for Collision, will probably have to take over. But if you are watching, we do have an all-star 8-man tag team match. We have Young Bucks, Josh Alexander, and Kyle Fletcher taking on Brody King, Hologram, Ishii, and Takahashi from New Japan. It's okay, Boza. It's our Kitty. Yeah, our Kitty is her name. But that's okay. I know you didn't want to spell her name wrong, but it looks like doctors and physicians are trying to pay attention to Justin Roberts. But looks like Tony Khan has to put a fine on them. Mr. Bossman's got to put a fine on them. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. But we do have a trios match happening tonight. And we're also going to hear from Swerve Strickland. We're going to hear from Swerve Strickland probably on his upcoming match ahead of Forbidden Door against Kazuchika Okada. And even though it's all commercial, I was actually thinking of something too. So I was thinking of this after Swerve, who would be the next one to face Okada. And it really dawned on me, and I don't know why people didn't realize this. I have Konosuke Takeshita being his next opponent. And the reason I say that is Takeshita may be Okada's next opponent is because last year, and this is right before the Continental Classic happened, Okada was interviewing Renee. And when Takeshita was international champion, him and Okada had a stare down, which is kind of a tease. So it was a tease and building up a match for them. And if you noticed, after Okada joined the Don Callis family, Takeshita looked like he was not pleased to have Okada join the family. So it could be a little tease of friction between them, but I do suspect a match between Takeshita and Okada somewhere down the line. That was something that just dawned on me. I was like, that could be just something. But we are back live with this 8-man tag team match. We have Josh Alexander, Kyle Fletcher, and the Young Bucks taking on Ishii, Brody King, Hologram, and their partner Takahashi from New Japan. And also a few minutes ago, the Young Bucks apparently super kicked the ring announcer Justin Roberts, so he is being attended to. I kind of knew they were fine. Bossman saying Tony Schiavone will finish. Okay, so well, that's good to know. But yeah, I have Okada versus Takeshita somewhere down the line. Because also, if you notice, Takeshita is doing the G1 tournament right now. So he'll probably be back after Forbidden Door is done. But yeah, they're showing the replay of the Young Bucks super kicking Justin Roberts. So uncalled for. Why out of all people would you do it to the ring announcer? Why out of all people? That makes sense, but that little runt, Don Callis may not like it, but he may wants. Yeah, exactly. So that's like something down the line. I could see Okada and Takeshita meeting one-on-one if you saw like the little stare downs with each other, and if you notice with the facial ones, because Takeshita didn't look pleased when Okada joined the Don Callis family, but we shall see what happens. We are back live. And looks like Ishii is going to make the tag. Oh, I thought he was going to make the tag the hologram, but part of the conglomeration. And it looks like there may be a little bit of friction with the conglomeration. Hologram, and Kyle O'Reilly. Because it looks like Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong may be getting a little bit of friction within the conglomeration if you've been watching Collision, but Takahashi. I do like his colorful pants, though. Tag is made to Hologram. Nice clothesline by Ishii. But here comes, oh, nice move by Hologram, but countered by Kyle Fletcher. Ooh, nice double kick. They're trying to go with a super kick, but Takahashi had a super kick himself. Ooh, Josh Alexander caught Takahashi. Ooh, outside the ring apron. Double super kick on the Brody King, especially ahead of their match next week. Brodito taking on FTR for the finals. Winner of that match will be facing off against the Hurt Syndicate. Oof, Brody. Now I'm very curious on who from New Japan is going to be Kyle Fletcher's opponent. Very, very curious. And also feel free in the chat on who do you guys got winning this all-star 8-man tag team match. Feel free to put in the chat. You got Brody, Takahashi, Hologram, and Ishii. Or do you have the Young Bucks, Josh Alexander, and Kyle Fletcher winning this match? But like I said, it has been fun doing Timeless Elite Wednesday with all of you. I just can't believe we're at 9:30 because we have two more things after this match. We have Swerve Strickland talking, and we have the trios match, which is really cool to see the trios being main event. But I feel like something is about to give. Karrion Kross went on Ariel Helwani show today to prove that his release is real. He was upset that reports are wrestling. Yeah, I know on WWT we have touched about it on Monday. We have touched about it on today. I'm not going to get involved in that because whatever happens, happens. But, you know, with Karrion Kross, I know they were trying to do stuff with him. And I know Triple H tried to play it off saying, yeah, you want Brock. They chanted, we want Kross. I listened to that post show. I listened to everything else. And also, you would thought with the promo after you did after WrestleMania, it would have you in there. But sometimes there are just some wrestling companies that do drop the ball. But I'm not getting involved in that because a lot of times you have all these quote-unquote dirt G's who think they're the insiders with everything. But in technicality, they're not because they have not been in those offices. They never worked at a wrestling promotion or know the whereabouts when it comes to contracts. So at the end of the day, it's stuff that we don't know behind closed doors or stuff that's under the rug. So it is a developing story happening with Karrion Kross, but we shall see in the coming days and weeks. And we are back live with our all-star 8-man tag team match. We have Hologram, Brody King, and Ishii, along with their partner from New Japan, Takahashi, taking on the Young Bucks, Josh Alexander, and the TNT champion, Kyle Fletcher. Now, I know you guys seen the promo with my other two clients that are fighting with each other, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, last Saturday on Collision, because it looks like Max is starting to get some reps in as a babyface, and Anthony's kind of be a little bit of a heel that's going a little bit too far. But I watched what happened this past weekend on Collision, where Max Caster had the chance to wrestle Shibata. A little fact there, if you listen to his interview on Chris Van Vliet, he actually mentioned Shibata is one of his favorite wrestlers. So it was really awesome for him to wrestle Shibata. And it was nice of Shibata to shake his hand and raise it before getting attacked by LFI. So I was very happy to see that happen, because who doesn't like Shibata? I feel like Shibata is one of those cool dudes that you love and you want to hang with and just want to learn more about. And plus, he can be very funny too. Kick out made by Takahashi. I feel like Shibata is one of those people that is just so cool that you just want to hang out with. So it was really a good wholesome moment too. And like I said, Max Caster mentioned Shibata was one of the wrestlers he looked up to as a student-wise, next to Danielson, Bret Hart, Ric Flair, and the person that put a spark on him is the guy that's announcing on Collision, Nigel McGuinness. I'm just waiting for Nigel McGuinness to go one-on-one with Max Caster. But Nigel, he has a busy match this weekend because for the best technicians this Saturday on Collision, it will be Nigel McGuinness taking on Lee Moriarty, Daniel Garcia, and Hechicero, where the winner will face off against Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP World Championship match at Forbidden Door next weekend. So Nigel McGuinness has a busy schedule this Saturday. Ooh, nice move by Takahashi. That was a good save. Kick made. Brody. Oh, here comes Brody. And here comes the Young Bucks. Double team. Here comes Hologram. And he's still undefeated, by the way. He is still undefeated. Oh my goodness. We normally see Hologram on Collisions, but it's nice to see him on Dynamite. Ooh, nice move by Takahashi. Oh, 3! And the winner of this match, Takahashi, Brody King, Hologram, and Ishii. And that's a big win, especially for Brody, because him and Brodito have a big match against FTR next week. Also, like I said, I'm very curious on who's going to be the New Japan representative for Kyle Fletcher. Hiromu Takahashi is the name. Hiromu Takahashi. All right. Well, we're almost halfway done Timeless Elite Wednesday because, like I said, we have 2 more things to do. We're going to hear from Swerve Strickland, and we're also going to have the trios match. The Ops taking on La Facción and Copeland Noble. Oh my God. Oh, and now it's official. Kyle Fletcher will be defending the TNT Championship against Takahashi next weekend. That is going to be a banger of a match. And I have to say, the card for Forbidden Door looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool so far. And also, just confirm, I will be doing a watch-along for Forbidden Door. I mean, I have to, in a way. And it's kind of crazy, too, because I'm a football fan. And I'm a Dolphins fan, too. It's kind of crazy because being a football fan myself, because it's preseason right now, the Dolphins play the Jaguars that same weekend in Forbidden Door. So we play Saturday the 23rd, and the next day Forbidden Door is the 24th. That is crazy that we're going to have that. Yes, yes, Takahashi is definitely a good choice. I love it. Forbidden Door. Yep. Like I said, Forbidden Door is going to be going one-on-one with NXT Heatwave. But I will be doing a watch-along for Forbidden Door, just to confirm. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be early. They're in London. So I'm very curious because the card looks pretty good so far. Very curious what other matches are going to be on. Like I said, the Saturday on Collision, we have that fatal 4-way technicians match where the winner will face off against Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door. So that will be included as well. We're also going to have the tag team title match. We'll find out next week on who will challenge the Hurt Syndicate. So I'm pretty sure there'll be a few more matches added to the card as we get closer to the road to Forbidden Door. But we have one more stop to go to next week, and that is Scotland. So, but it has been a good solid episode of Dynamite so far. Some things I wish I could have changed, but it's only a matter of time. We have 9 matches confirmed for Forbidden Door. I think the main card is done, unless some titles. Well, we shall see, because like you said, Boza, the G1 tournament is also coming with the semifinals. Also with the fact, too, we have to find out who is going to compete on 0 Hour. What is going to happen? And I kind of said this many times. I know I said Caster versus Bones is going to happen. I said if it's not going to happen at Forbidden Door, because I keep pushing it for a bit, I think it's going to happen either at All Out in Toronto or Full Gear, because Full Gear is in Jersey. And also we know what happened last year at Full Gear with the Acclaim, because everybody kept saying F Max Caster, and that was kind of the dwindle of the Acclaim. But that would be very cool if it was at Full Gear in the Garden State. That would be so fun. I guess there's technical issues. Yep, that's what she said, Bosa. Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Bosa. That's why I said I think they're gonna save it for Full Gear in Jersey. That's why I feel like it, because it's not, if it doesn't have in Toronto, Full Gear. We shall see. But here he comes, the man that will be facing off against Okada next weekend at Forbidden Door. Of course, Nana has his coffee, and you know what that means. He's going to be taking us with the Holy Spirit. Swerve when I drive. I always love it when they show shots of the crowd and trying to do the dance with Swerve. I love it. Even Renee's trying to do it. they're feeling it.
We're tough people. We get hurt all the time and we push through. I'm not going to let something like that bother me and stop me from getting to the unified championship against Okada in London. That's my only priority. That's the only thing that's focused right now.
They had the photo of when he was at All in Texas. Oh, and looky. Look who comes out, Okada. I'm surprised that creeped on Callus ain't there. Yeah, carrying that unified title. I think the absence of house shows. You know, it's interesting, Boza, you mentioned that. Oh, we'll talk about that after the stare down between Okada and Swerve. Let's hear what Okada has to say. And also a fact too, Kazuchika Okada is the longest reigning champion with 509 days. Actually, I should say 510. He's now the longest reigning AEW champion. And he's still undefeated, by the way. I knew he was going to say it. He knew very well not to get in the face of Swerve. Prince Nana's trying to cool it. Well, a little preview. I'm surprised that little creep hasn't. I'm surprised that little creep didn't come out here. But Nana did. Nana looks hot. He looks very hot. But it's definitely going to be a fun match between these two. But we got a main event match. We have a trios match. The Ops taking on La Facción y Copeland. And also, Bozo, going back to your point, it's interesting you say that is because oh, hold on. Here come the Death Riders. I hope John knows not to mess with Alicia. Well, it's a Tanahashi. So it looks like the Young Bucks. So it looks like John Moxley's talking to the Young Bucks because what is the Young Bucks' comfortable second home? New Japan. John is what is a ghost. I mean, who wouldn't be scared to death? Who wouldn't be scared to death of Tanahashi? I would be very terrified of Tanahashi. But we shall see, because like I said, Gabe Kidd, he's out with an injury. That's why he couldn't compete in the G1. But why do I feel like he's gonna have some tricks up his sleeve? But Boza, going back to your point with house shows, and it's crazy because now WWE is cutting back on house shows as well. And I guess they've been doing this for years. And maybe this is something that maybe once AEW hits right before they hit year number 10, maybe at year 7 or year 8, maybe they could think about doing house shows. Nothing like crazy, but at least doing house shows to get some reps in, to get some traveling in. And also they do have Daly's Place that they could use as somewhat of a performance or developmental center. That could be useful, but that's like somewhere down the line. And I know the bodies do get banged up a bit, and that's why some wrestlers take opportunities, because it's hard when you have to do twice a week with live tapings. You have Dynamite on Wednesdays. You also, Booker was talking about cutbacks on house shows because the reps talent. Yeah, that's why a lot of the times some of the wrestlers have to go outside of not just WWE, but AEW to get some reps in too. You know, the tapings of AEW Dynamite, also Collision 2, just getting reps in the independent scene, also getting reps, you know, especially with AEW, because they have a relationship with New Japan, they have a relationship with Stardom, they have a relationship with CMLL. That's why you see some wrestlers in AEW wrestle overseas just to get the reps in, the opportunities in. And also they could use Daly's place as somewhat of a development and performance center, since it's right there. It's the original home of AEW. But that's something to think about somewhere down the line. But we're about to be in our main event. But I do want to thank everybody for joining on this week's edition of Timeless Elite Wednesday with yours truly. It has been very fun. Has been super, super fun looking back on all of this. Saw all the action happening tonight. I don't think I'm going to do a post show tonight because there's just been a lot of excitement and action happening throughout my reactions, but it's been very, very fun. But we got a main event to do. And plus, your Timeless Elite had a very busy week so far. We want to thank you for coming. Oh, thank you, Bose. I'm always happy to. And there's Tony Schiavone. Oh, 2 announcements. Oh my God. So it's going to be the return of Edge and Christian. I still call him Edge and Christian against Nick Wayne and Kit Sabian. Oh boy. Oh my God. So it'll be the Death Riders. Oh, I guess Gabe Kidd will be back from injury. Death Riders, Gabe Kidd, and Young Bucks taking on Darby Allin, Tanahashi, Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi. So we will see the Golden Lovers reunite again alongside Tanahashi. Oh my God. Lights out steel cage match. Now I'm very curious on what the main event is going to be. Oh my God. Now I'm curious what the main event is. It going to be this one, or is it going to be, well, I would think this one, because this one you want to save the most violent ones for last, because I thought at least it would have been Hangman and MJF, but here we go. We got our trios match happening tonight. We got the reigning AEW World Trios Champions, the Ops. And also make sure to check out, I know, the Golden Lovers. I'm so excited. Now it's been confirmed I am going to do a watch on for Forbidden Door, because it looks like a really, really good card. It looks like a really, really good card. But we do have the Ops. And also make sure to check out Samoa Joe on Twisted Metal. The series is happening on Peacock right now. So Samoa Joe does talk about it on a few podcasts. But they will be facing off against La Facción and Copeland. They could have just made I know, it's crazy. You know, it's really interesting. We haven't had Blood and Guts yet. And I know with the fact, too, they had to push back All In for July. But I think we may get Blood and Guts, but probably won't happen until, like, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing a Blood and Guts during when they do residency in Philadelphia. Why not do a Blood and Guts in the Land of Extreme? The original home of Extreme. That would really be crazy if they did it during the residency. Yeah, Bose, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. Like, why not do it in Philadelphia? I mean, they're going to be there for 2 to 3 weeks. I don't see why not. But this is our main event trios match, and Tony Schiavone did a solid job doing the ring announcing. I thought we were going to get our Kitty, but I think they saved our Kitty for just Collision. Really? Here's our producer from the future knocking in. Leave Tony Schiavone out of it. Tony Schiavone did the best that he could. Yes, she does Collision and some of the matches for 0 Hour. But, woo, I just can't believe some of the announcements that we had for Forbidden Door. A lights out steel cage match. The Young Bucks, Gabe Kidd, and the Death Fighters taking on the reuniting of the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, Tanahashi, Darby Allin, and Will Ospreay. And we're also going to have Adam Copeland and Christian Cage together again to take on Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. Oh my God. But we have our main event. I love Schiavone. I haven't watched it at all. Oh, well, I know you love Tony Schiavone. So Dylan, you kind of missed it. So this was during the All-Star 8-man tag team match where it was the Young Bucks, Josh Alexander, and Kyle Fletcher taking on Takahashi from New Japan, Hologram, Brody King, and Ishii. And apparently during the match, the Young Bucks super kicked Justin Roberts, and he had to be the physicians had to provide medical attention to him. So that's why he didn't announce the main event. Yep, they're saving that for Toronto, which I would think that would be the main event. So it looks like we may have our main event, folks, with the lights, which would make sense having the lights out steel cage match as the main event for Forbidden Door, which would make a lot of sense. But I'm curious if we're going to have a triple co-event or like a double main event or something. But match is still going in picture, but just to let you know, we are in our... Why would they save Education Reunite? Well, here's the thing, Dylan. I know you would think you would save for Toronto, but I think they want to continue the story with the fact that Edge and Christian... Well, actually, Christian Cage still has to deal with the rest of the patriarchy, and I guess they don't want to let that interfere with FTR, so they're trying to make sure that they squash this, so hopefully after Forbidden Door, Christian can finally move on from the patriarchy, and we can actually focus. And also, I feel like for some odd reason, if FTR does make it past Rodino, I feel like for some odd reason, they're going to get screwed at Forbidden Door. So I think you kind of had to put some segue in there. So, but I mean, we're going to get it. I mean, we're going to get it at Toronto, and I would not be shocked if it was the main event. Yeah. Wrestling that thing. Oh, I love it that you refer to Logan Paul as that thing. But like I said, we are in our main event, and feel free to put in the chat who you guys got. You guys got the Ops winning, or do you have La Facción Incomprenable? I'm just saying. So. And I love that they're putting the pacemaker commercials on AEW television. I think it's kind of crazy. Oh, yeah. Well, unfortunately, he would be... unfortunately, that thing that you mentioned will be wrestling John Cena at Clash in Paris. I know, exactly. It is crazy. And also with the fact, too, LFI has been beating the crap out of people. I mean, if you saw Collision last week, after Shibata gave respect to Max Caster after the match, LFI started to beat up the both of them, and then you had Jetsby coming out, and it was just a mess. So I feel like something is bound to happen. I don't know what, but we shall see. So we are back live. I mean, I'll pick the Ops to win. I will pick the Ops. Taking a cheap shot at Sabata. No surprise there. No surprise there, Tony Schiavone. I kind of knew you were going to go into no surprise. No surprise there. It doesn't surprise me at all. The usual, they will stay there until there's a winner. I'm surprised they don't get 2.5 hours. Well, it is interesting. Oh, so we have Jet Speed taking on John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta this weekend. And we do have a 100K four-way fight. Julia Hart, Chris Statlander, Penelope Ford, and Anna Jay will take on each other this Saturday on Collision. As I mentioned, we do have the technical spectacle. Hechicero, Lee Moriarty, Nigel McGuinness, and Daniel Garcia. The winner of that match will take on Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door. I would like for Nigel McGuinness to win that match. I mean, I wouldn't mind. And like I said, next week in Scotland, we're going to have the tournament final for the tag team title eliminator match. Brodino taking on FTR. We're going to have Athena and Mercedes Monet taking on the team of my clients, Windstorm. I love that name. That should be a shirt. That should be merchandise right there. Windstorm. Next week in Scotland. It wouldn't be Bossman if he put, hey, look, you get free money in a fatal four-way. I mean, it's gonna be a good match, but you also get extra money in the bank. Okay, personally, I like to see AEW condensed. Well, Terry, to be honest, I think they tried that before. They've done it many times where they've done both Dynamite and Collision, but sometimes it can be a little bit crazy, and especially for content creators like myself, it can be hard to do, and especially if it's every week, I need to catch up on sleep, so that's why I'm happy they do separate days. Wait, is he fading? Is he fading? Let me see. Oh, and the match is over, and the winner of the match is the Ops. Oh my god. You might have to remind us each day. Yeah, I have to remind you guys there's no posting. But it was a solid good main event. I'm really happy to see, like, with the trios match. It looks really awesome. Yeah, Samoa Joe definitely looks banged up. Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Shibata, all look pretty good. Also very curious on who's going to be the next ones to face him. Who is going to be the next trios in 9? So it looks like I can tell LFI is not very pleased with the aftermath. So they're just going on through it, but it's nice. I guess everything doesn't have to end in shenanigans. At least they can end at least on a good solid note with the ops. And they're just going over some of the matches at Forbidden Door that's happening next weekend. So it's actually nice that doesn't end in shenanigans. At least it ends it with people winning. And here we see Hangman Adam Page. And Renee Paquette's talking to Hangman. Oh my goodness! He attacked MJF attacked Hangman Adam Page from behind just when he was leaving. I guess it was too good to be true. I thought at least it would probably end without shenanigans, but I guess I was wrong. Well, it looks like MJF, and it's interesting too because it brings out another side of him where he's aggressive and dangerous. And this is what makes MJF MJF. And that is how we can conclude AEW Dynamite from Cincinnati, Ohio. This was an interesting Dynamite to close. It did everything that it needed to do. We ended it with the main event between La Facción and Copeland taking on the Ops. And the Ops won by a victory. But we did see MJF ambush Hangman Adam Page right before we wrapped up AEW Dynamite. But yes, Boza, next week we are going to Scotland. We're going to Scotland. So get your kilts, get your bagpipes, get everything you need for Scotland because we're going to be traveling overseas. And I will be putting a reminder in and on WWT Live, no spoilers. We don't like spoilers here. So do not give out any spoilers. Do not give out any spoilers. But it has been a solid episode of Dynamite. I don't think I'm going to do post-show because there was too much excitement happening tonight. But I will give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 for Dynamite. It did everything what it needed to do. And we're just getting closer and closer to Forbidden Door, which is happening next weekend in London, England. And the card actually looks pretty good. The card looks pretty good. I'm very excited for this. It was definitely a great last show. Indeed it was before Forbidden Door, but they're going to be overseas next week. Very excited what's happening. And I get to see the team of my clients, my new tag team, Windstorm. I created that name too. I created that name. Well, yeah, 11 if you do. 11 if you do. Forbidden Door. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really great pay-per-view. I get to see my clients, Windstorm. I feel like I need to do a post devoted to them. And I made that name too. So nobody can talk about it. And Tony Khan, you're welcome. I would want the check. So, but like I said, it has been a good fun spending Timely Elite Wednesday with me, yours truly. So fun to have. Thank you all for joining on all this week. Shout out to people like Eddie Foster, Maria, Boza, Terry M, Willow Sport 1, Aaron Teagle. Of course, I had a briefing with our producer from the future, Dylan Poppin, Tommy T. Thank you all for joining. You should call them Windstorm with A. I know, exactly. I know. That's the name, Windstorm. And it just rolls off the tongue so much. We had Thunderstorm, we had Thunder Tits, now we have Windstorm. So I am going to keep using that name. But like I said, thank you for joining me on Timeless Elite Wednesday. And you can also follow me on WWT Live. I be on whenever I can. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for WWT. I also make sure to, obviously Wednesdays, Timeless Elite Wednesday. We're going to be in Scotland next week. We're going to be in Glasgow, Scotland next week. So very excited to be overseas on the final one before make Windstorm. I know, make Windstorm shirts. That, oh my God, I'm waiting for them. Tony Khan, you got to make the shirts. Please make the shirts. Make the shirts. I should like message him and be like, Tony Khan, make the shirts, and I can get the check for it. But anyways, feel free to follow me on WWT Live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I periodically as I can. Make sure to also check me out Wednesdays. It's Timeless Elite Wednesdays. Also, make sure to follow me on socials on @CourtneyNJ11. My latest post, because yesterday was my 1-year anniversary of WWT being on here. It has been fun being on the team. Try to do as much work as I can. And Sindel calls me the hardest working woman in WWT. Try to do as much as I can because you got to make lemons into lemonade. So I try to make sure I hop on in any way I can. Also, make sure to check out, because tomorrow we're going to be posting interviews on the WWT YouTube channel with interviews with Francine and Indy Hartwell at WrestleCon. So very excited to see that. And also I may post like a little bits of clips of them. So I may post some of the clips of Indy and Francine on my social channels. But also make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling. Yours truly is on the commentary team, but feel free to check us out on there. We have 90s Wrestling Con happening September 27th. Myself and Honey will be in the building because we're going back to the 90s. So feel free to check us out. And also, I do have a lot of content happening in the coming weeks. End of the month, AEW is coming to Philadelphia. They're coming to Philadelphia. They're also coming to Full Gear in the Garden State. So lots as happening. Me neither. I did not know it was a year either, but I do appreciate that. So try to do it any way I can, because AEW has some good stuff on there. They just need to work out a few things. But thank you for joining on Timeless Wednesday. Thank you for joining on Women's Wrestling Talk, because we are the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet, and we are going to make Windstorm happen. Tony Khan, I hope you're watching, but have a great evening. Be safe, and I will see you on Friday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WWTalkpod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.